Hey everybody, it's Joshua Zeus Studios, and today we're going to go over something that's not actually game related, but it is tile related, and that is some of the best ways I've seen that players can protect their tiles if they so desire. Now, some of you may know, and some of you actually may not know, that when the game was released in November, we also released alongside it, when Starter Set 1 was released in November, we also released alongside of it 2 packs of tile sleeves. You can see the white version here and the purple version here, and those are the only 2 that we've done so far. And I'm really glad that we did that. It really helps with shuffling, and it helps with protection and all that good stuff. But I was talking to a store owner who was in turn talking with one of her TCG players, and that player was saying that the tile sleeves weren't enough for them. They were still concerned about protecting the tiles, either shipping them through the mail if they were going to sell them on the secondary market, or just in general. They really like to double sleeve their cards, and they were looking for a solution to double sleeve their tiles. And when I heard that, I was like, oh man, do we have to make another product? We made the tile sleeves. Do we have to make an inner sleeve as well? Because that's kind of what the store owner was saying. Yeah, we really, for the high level, I guess if you will, players and collectors, they really want the option to have that inner sleeve. So I was like, oh dear, okay, well, then I would have to come up with a way and talk to the factory and make more sleeves. And that's not really something that I wanted to do. I'm not really trying to get into the tile sleeve business. We made these out of necessity because there wasn't anything else on the market. There are sleeves, as you can tell. There are sleeves here that, but they're clear on both sides. So these are the only ones I'm aware of on the market that will fit a 70mm by 70mm tile, but have different colored backs. And so we made those, and I just didn't want to, make more other sleeves, more specialty sleeves. So anyway, that's kind of a long intro to what I'm trying to get at. And what I am trying to get at is I had that on the back of my mind for a while, for a couple weeks now, trying to figure out what to do and should I get a factory and start down that road. And I happened to be at Game Castle Sacramento. Shout out to Game Castle Sacramento, huge supporters of the game. And I saw this little guy here on the shelf. And let's see if we can see that a little bit better. These are from Mayday Games. And the thing that caught my eye the most was I had actually purchased these in the past, these Fantasy Flight ones. And they were okay. I mean, they work. You can slide a tile in there. But my experience with these was that they were not tight enough really to give that real inner sleeve, hugging the tile that I know that the high-end collectors and whatnot really like. So anyway, I purchased these, and I love them. They were really, really snug to the tile, and they fit perfect within these sleeves here. And so after I got these and I got really excited about that, I looked online to see, well, what are the other options? Because I was really relieved, actually. I was like, yeah, these are great. I don't have to contact a factory, and I don't have to come up with thousands of dollars to make these. These are already in existence, and I thought it was great. But I did want to see what else was out there. So I looked online and I saw these here. These are also, well, it's interesting. These claim that they're 69mm by 69mm, and we'll go over that in a minute. They're actually not. But I saw these and I said, you know what, if these are 69 by 69, let me buy these and give them a try, because these were 70. These are claiming 70mm by 70mm, so these might even have been a little bit more snug. So I just wanted to try. And then I saw these as well. These are from Arcane Tin Man, and you might know these guys. They do the Dragon Shields, which are really, really popular. So I wanted to give these a try as well. And so Yeah, so I got them. I just got these, a few days ago, and I thought I'd do a really quick video, not just talking about them, but also showing them in action. So you can kind of see, and then at the end, I'll kind of give my recommendations about which inner sleeves I think are really cool, but you can kind of see for yourself if you want to use any of them. So the first one we'll jump into is these right here. So what we'll do is we'll take some of these sleeves here, some of the white ones, and take one of the white ones here, and I'll take a tile, and you can kind of see how these just slip right in. See, nice and, they go in real well. But let's see how these work. These Ultra Pros work as an inner sleeve. So we'll take one of these. Try and do everything on camera here. And so we kind of put this in here and kind of put it in there like so. And I don't know if you could tell, but this was a lot more snug than this. So actually, let me redo that, because if you're gonna dual sleeve, this one should go from the top. So you put that, you feed that in from the bottom, and then you put this from the top. And there you go. You can see that slid in really well, and it looks great. So this is a contender, definitely. And then let's do the Arcane Tin Man ones. Take one of those. Now, I'll get into some differences between these. These aren't all the same. Although two of them, and I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it, I think these two were made from the same factory. And so just kind of throwing that out there. And then at the end of this, I'm going to throw out some prices for you. So it'll be pretty clear what my recommendation will be at the end of this. But anyway, we'll get to that toward the end. But right now, we're talking about these. Now, I don't know if you can kind of see this. Yeah, you should be able to see that. See, that's not clear, whereas this one is clear. So that one clear, this one not clear. So when I first saw that, I was like, huh, why would anybody make that like that? I would imagine that you would want your art to, really shine through. They're calling this a non-glare sleeve. So maybe that's a thing for people, that they want a more muted look. But I can tell you, and I'll go ahead and do it right now, that when you take a tile and you put it in, so I took 2 tiles here. Let's go ahead and take 2. The point I'm going to get at is that it's very difficult to tell the difference between the non-glare and the perfectly clear. But anyway, as you can see, just from the fit here, this is very snug. And it also has a kind of a really cool texture to it as well. So, you see that one right there. And then what I'm also going to do is put another identical tile into this clear one. And then I'll show you. I mean, to me, it's very hard to tell. Looking through the camera though, I can kind of see that this one's a little bit more crisp, but it's really hard to tell the difference. And I think that's pretty good. So anyway, I just want to kind of throw that out there. Both of these are really snug on the tile. This one has a really nice texture to it, which I like, and but this one's more clear. So just kind of depends on what you like. Now, as far as this going into just a regular sleeve, the outer sleeve, it does that pretty well. There we go. Takes a little bit, but kind of see, and you can kind of hear it slide in there as well. But between the two, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. So anyway, so this works. This works. This one has a little bit of a muted look to it, a little anti-glare, texturized thing to it. And then we'll go on to this one here. And I kind of let the cat out of the bag before, and that I really do believe that these Maydays and these Ultra Pros were made by the same factory, because I've already spent some time with these, and the clarity is the same, and the snugness to a tile is the same. And as you can see, yeah, these are really good. And then last but not least, we'll go over here to the Fantasy Flight, which are also fine. These are a little bit bigger. So these go in a little bit looser. They're a tad bit bigger. Even though they say 70 millimeter by 70 millimeter, this one says 70 millimeter by 70 millimeter. This one says 70 millimeter by 70 millimeter, and this one says 69 millimeter by 69 millimeter. I actually measured them all, and it turned out that none of them were what they said, at least using my ruler, which, let me see if I have my ruler here. I won't get into that, but basically, this one, and this one, I believe, were 72 millimeters by 72 millimeter, and this one was 73 millimeter by 73 millimeter. So that's not a super big deal, but it is something to think about, because that just makes this a little bit more difficult to get into this sleeve. But it'll fit. But you just have to kind of work at it a little bit. So it's easier to go in here, and there's less risk of breaking it when you're putting a tile in. There we go. But as you can see, it goes in, and it's clear, and it works. And yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've got here. As far as my recommendations go, I would go ahead. You guys probably already saw the price here. This is $250. So as far as pricing goes, I got these upper decks for $517, and I got these for $6, roughly $6. I actually ended up getting 2 packs of 50 for $11.99. So 1 pack of 50 is roughly $6. So $517, $6. These were great. The $250, so half the price of the lowest ones. And then these Fantasy Flights were $10 for 50. So So I think hands down the one to get would be these Maydays here, because they're half of the price of these. And I really, again, I think this is the third time I'll say this. I've looked at these really, really close. I've measured them, and looked at how they were, bound, the bindings on them, and they look identical. So I would really be shocked if these aren't very close to being made in the same factory. So with that said, I would definitely lean to the Maydays, because the price here is $2.50, but I think I actually saw them online for less than $2. So anyway, to wrap it all up, for those of you who don't know, we have sleeves. We made sleeves. And for those of you who like to go the little extra mile as far as protecting your playing cards or maybe collectibles, there are available on the market, so we don't have to make them, inner sleeves that actually work really, really well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. If you have any questions, or if you find sleeves that are different than the ones here, please let me know, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video, or you can just put it in the comments below, and we can let more and more people know about different ways to protect their sleeves if they would like to do that. So anyway, yeah, that's it from me, and thanks for your time, and talk to you later. Bye bye.